Hello students, in this video we'll learn about the South America continent and with this video we'll end our geography lesson. So students, let's start with some general features. South America is the fourth largest continent and it spans through an area of 17,832,000 square kilometers. The distance runs from 7,645 kilometers north and south. The distance east to west is 5,150 kilometers, and the latitude is 12 degrees north to 55 degrees south. Longitude is 35 degrees east to 31 degrees west. Sorry for this spelling mistake. So students, now let's look at the special features of South America, which I'm sure will amaze you, and you'll also know why it's known as the land of extremes. So students, the wettest region lies here. It's in Quibdó, which is located in Colombia. It's the driest region, the Atacama Desert, also lies in this continent. The highest waterfall, known as Angel Fall, which is 979 meters long, lies in Venezuela. The biggest and densest equatorial rainforest, the Amazon rainforest, is located in Brazil. And students, did you know that Amazon is known as the lungs of the planet? This is because more than 20% of the world's oxygen is provided by the Amazon forest. And here's a fun fact. It's home to 10 million species of animals, plants, species known to man, but there may be more that we are yet to discover. And students, the longest mountain range, the Andes mountain range, lies here, and Lake Titicaca, which is the highest navigable lake, is also in South America. The name navigable means that you are able to sail on ships and boats. That is the meaning of the term navigable. So now students, let's look at the physical regions of South America. The physical regions are divided into the Andes, the central lowlands, and the eastern highlands. So students, now let's look at each of these in detail. The Andes. The Andes is the second highest fold of mountains after the Himalayas, and it's the longest and continuous chain from Venezuela in the north to Tierra del Fuego in the south. And it runs almost parallel to the west coast and stretches about 7,000 kilometers. The western side of the central Andes is where the driest place of the world, the Atacama Desert, lies in. And the Mount Aconcagua, which is also the highest peak of South America, lies here. And Lake Titicaca is also of the Andes physical region. And students, if you look at this picture, this is what the Andes range looks like from an aerial view. Now students, let's look at the central lowlands, which extends from Andes in the west to eastern highlands in the east. The land here is very fertile because it's drained by the largest rivers of South America, the Orinoco, the Amazon, and the La Plata river system, which comprises of the Paraguay, Parana, and Uruguay rivers. The Amazon is the largest river basin in the world, and it's here. You can see in this picture, this is the Amazon river, and surrounding it is the Amazon rainforest. So students, because the land is pretty fertile, it's well known for agriculture as well as animal rearing. Now students, the eastern highland consists of two highlands, the Guiana Highland in the north and the Brazilian Highland in the northeast. This region receives lots of rainfalls, and therefore the area is heavily forested. The world's highest rainfall, the Angel Rainfall, lies in the Guiana Highland in Venezuela. Now students, let's look at the climate and vegetation. Most part of South America lies in the tropical zone because and it faces direct sunlight because it's in the equator. Therefore, it has equatorial climate. So students, if you look at the first picture here, the blue part, dark blue and light blue line part is represented as equatorial climate. And down here you can find temperate climate and savanna type of climate. And students in the equatorial part of South America, the vegetation is of evergreen hardwood trees and there's thick vegetation. But down there, the thickness of the forest decreases and it's more of grassland types. So students, in the Amazon basin, equatorial climate is found. So it's hot and wet. And the annual rainfall is about 2.5 centimeters to 4.5 meters. And evergreen hardwood trees grow here. The coastal climate, however, have milder climates because of influence of sea, ocean currents, and wind directions. The climate in high altitudes like the Andes is cold throughout the year. And the Orinoco Basin and Brazilian Plateau have tropical wet dry or savanna type of climate. The tropical grassland is known as llanos in the Orinoco Basin and campos in Brazil. And temperate grasslands are known as pampas in the Uruguay and Argentina. Now, students, pampas is a temperate grassland and it's very suitable for growing wheat and rearing cattle, which is why it's famous for producing meat and wheat production. So students, people of South America are engaged in many occupations depending on where they live in. The people in the Andes range are involved in tourism, animal husbandry, and agriculture, whereas people in the tropical and temperate grasslands are more involved in animal rearing. And students, if you look at the second picture, this man is shearing the wool of the sheep, and it's one of the main occupations and what most industries are involved in. Other industries are agro-based, so there is commercial wheat cultivation. And now students, let's look at the people and wildlife of South America. The people of South America are tribal people. They live in tribes, and this is what their dressing and makeup looks like. So students, these tribal people the lives of the tribal people is threatened, and they fear their survival because they rely on the rainforest. And their land is in rainforest, and because they are losing the rainforest, because trees are being cut down to make way for farming, agriculture, and other businesses, they are losing their land, and therefore many people are pretty sad about it. And the current president of Brazil, President Bolsonaro, thinks that not being able to exploit the rainforest of Amazon is holding back the economic growth. So students, here I want to ask you one question. What do you students think? Should economic growth and environmental protection be balanced, or should you strive for economic growth no matter what happens to the environment? So students, in our previous lessons on sustainable development, we learned that it's important to take economic development and environment side by side. So we should practice more activities that are sustainable, as well as those activities which do not hinder or hamper the environment. So students, although Amazon rainforest is a precious natural resource, it also has a lot of economic value, which is why people are trying to get their hands on it. The selfish businessmen are using it for logging. Logging means the cutting of trees to make timber, which is used in buildings and carpentry. And they are also cutting down trees to for mining purposes. And every minute, an area of around a football field is being cut down. This is a sad situation for the people of Brazil, and yeah, that's it. And the second picture you see here, students, is a llama. Not the llamas of our country, but the llamas of South America. They are a sheep-like animal, and it's famous in South America. So thank you so much, students, for listening.